some insensitive comments he made about the First Lady.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
The First Lady responding to this joke, writing on X, quote, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepen the political sickness within America. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? Well, last night, Jimmy Kimmel acknowledged the criticism and responded like this.
It was a very light roast joke about the fact that he's almost 80 and she's younger than I am. It was not by any stretch of the definition a call to assassination, and they know that. I've been very vocal for many years speaking out against gun violence in particular. I am sorry that you and the president and everyone in that room on Saturday went through that. I really am. Just because no one got killed doesn't mean it wasn't traumatic. It's scary, and we should come together and be best. We really should.
Joining us now to react, senior writer for the Washington Examiner and Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, good morning to you. Man, a lot of reaction to this expectant widow comment from Jimmy Kimmel, including David Axelrod, former senior advisor to President Obama, of course, who posted on X, I like Jimmy Kimmel. He's funny and courageous at a time when there has been too much cowardice. That said, this was a tasteless joke. The White House will use any issue to demand he be fired because his satire touches a nerve, and ABC is right to resist. But he'd be right to apologize. We heard from him last night. He did not do that. Instead, said that it was a joke about their age difference. So what do you make of this latest controversy involving Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, of course, Jimmy Kimmel doubled down, Carly. I mean, he is incapable of apologizing for his open wish that Donald Trump be assassinated. I mean, let's think about what he said again, which was probably courtesy of Jimmy Kimmel's wife, by the way, who serves as the lead writer of this distant third place late night comedy program. Quote, look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have the glow like an expectant widow. What else could any reasonable, sane and sober person possibly conclude except that being a call for Trump, who works as hard as anybody on the planet, appears to be in excellent health, to be suddenly dead? Jimmy Kimmel is not a comedian. You know what he is? He's Hassan Piker with an ABC logo. And ABC, which might as well be called MSABC at this point, just gave him a contract extension because that is what management wants this network to be. The tip of the spear in the radical Trump resistance. Congrats, guys. You just earned that distinction. And by the way, this is the former home of great journalists like David Brinkley and Ted Koppel. This is now the home, let's make that very clear, of Jimmy Kimmel. He's the face of that network, the guy who cried on the air the night after Trump won back the White House. This is not a comedian. This is a radical activist. And the fact that he openly wished for the president to be dead and then try to explain it away as, oh, no, actually, it's just about the age difference. I mean, come on, give me a break. What a joke, except this guy rarely tells jokes on his show at this point. It's all about taking down Trump in one way or the other, Todd.
But, Joe, it's not just Kimmel. You had the second highest ranking Democrat, Hakeem Jeffries, just yesterday saying, I don't give a damn, when asked about how inflammatory rhetoric and his own inflammatory rhetoric impacts Republicans and violence against Republicans. So I just can't get past this, why the left cannot figure out this cause and effect relationship between their words and the normalization of violence. And we have this discussion after every one of these incidents, and nothing changes. And it doesn't look like anything's changing this time, Joe.
Yeah, I think what you're referencing, Todd, is the political leader of the Democratic Party, Hakeem Jeffries, said when asked about, hey, you keep saying we need to use maximum warfare, that's the quote, against Donald Trump. Shouldn't you dial that back? And Hakeem Jeffries, just like Jimmy Kimmel, dialed down and said, no, we should use maximum warfare against Trump. When you have a Dan Goldman of New York say that Donald Trump needs to be eliminated, when you had Joe Biden 5 days before Donald Trump was first almost assassinated in Butler, Pennsylvania, said it's time to put Donald Trump in a bullseye. Or when Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project once said that we need to put a bullet in Donald Trump. I could go on and on with all of the calls for violence against Trump, but it has real consequences because not once, not twice, but now 3 times Donald Trump was nearly assassinated. And tell me which other world leader, any world leader, has had that many assassinations attempts against them. Not one. in this country, a superpower which should have the greatest security in the world. And when you talk like this, there's enough maniacs out there that will see it as a call to violence to take this man out. And it's going to keep happening, Todd. I hate to say like this was the last time. It probably isn't, because they're not going to stop talking like this, guys.
That's sad.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And I mean, this round of controversy comes 7 months after ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel for the joke that he made about the man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk. Then he came back and made this emotional apology. So rinse and repeat, unfortunately. And it's happening on both sides. Both sides say, you know, we should make these calls to come together and slow down the rhetoric, but it's not happening. Joe, thank you so much for joining us.